we talk about, we are going to be having a monthly discussion with my lovely partner in crime and wife, Stephanie. And today's a special day for all the mothers out there. Today is Mother's Day. And I don't know what the date is, but it's May
13th, I think.
May 13th, lucky number 13. I don't know if that's a sign, but yeah. Happy Mother's Day. And
Thank you.
So I guess the thought today was that we would talk a little bit about entering into motherhood, some of the things that you go through on a daily basis with the children that we have. We have 3 children, right? We have a newly 17-year-old, we have a 14-year-old girl, and we have an 11-year-old boy. So boy, girl, boy. We have like a girl sandwiched between two boys. Yeah.
She doesn't want a sister anyway.
Well, that's true. We asked her. Mm-hmm. Not that she had a
choice in the matter. I said, would you like to have a sister? She said, no, I'm all set.
I'm all good.
I'm all set.
No sense to split the energy. It's already divided enough.
Exactly.
Financially.
She wants to keep her stuff to herself.
So I guess one of the things is, obviously you, when we had our first, right? I mean, you didn't really, I don't think you were, certainly no one's a mom before you have a child, but
that's true.
So when you had your first child, what is that like as a mom? Like you're in the hospital, you're like in major pain. I want to know like the feelings.
How fun it is?
What's that?
How fun it is?
Well, no, it's not fun. I mean, there's screaming and epidurals and all that shit, but as a guy, you're kind of like, well, okay, what's happening here? And then all of a sudden, they use the turkey baster and they do the mouth thing. They squeeze all that stuff out, and then all of a sudden, you're like holding this thing. Oh, and there's like it's coughing.
The turkey baster. Actually, I don't remember the turkey baster, but
anyway, what's it like when you have this first child?
Everybody has a different experience, depending on where you are in your life. Where I was, I don't know. I think I was like 21. That's pretty young.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Have a kid, so
yeah.
I was just trying to graduate from college.
But at the time, though, when that happens, like the feelings.
Oh, the feeling?
I'm talking about like when you
obviously
it hurts.
Are all of a sudden
a mom.
There's a lot of stuff going on. You don't really know how you're going to be a mom. I mean, you've never done it before, so it's a little bit of trial and error, I guess. But at the time, you're just overwhelmed. You're emotionally crazy.
Okay.
I mean, I was.
Okay, so emotionally, it was like a flood of emotions. Like,
yeah.
And
you're excited, you're scared, you're happy.
Yeah.
You're everything.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, you have this like little cone, pasty white child. You're like, oh,
relying
he's so
100% cute. On you. Because again, the other thing is, I mean, at that point in time, like your mom's a lactation consultant.
Oh,
right?
yeah, actually, that is one thing.
Because that was huge because it was like, oh my gosh, Ruth would be like, oh my gosh, no, you choose what you want. You can breastfeed or not, which is a fucking lie. Yeah, you can either breastfeed or not, but you better. And
actually, you know what? New moms or people who are pregnant will say, if they ask me, they'll say, well, what's one thing you would tell somebody who's going to be a new mom, which is kind of like being the bearer of bad news, but and for everybody it's different, but people think like breastfeeding or like nursing a child's going to be so wonderful, and it actually really sucks.
Well, what do you mean?
It's not natural. People think, oh, this little baby's going to like.
For you it wasn't. I mean, maybe it's not as bad.
Well, I know I've got a lot of data points now, and for most, I would say 75% of women, it's not fun and it's not normal, and that's why they all quit.
Well, can I ask a question? Because when you say that, as a guy, I'm thinking, I'm not going to go into that situation thinking, oh, well, that's going to be lovely having this thing sucking on my nipples. It's going to be so natural. So why is it that women go into that thinking, oh, the little baby's just going to nurture right up and start sucking milk out of my boob?
I think that's kind of like the, you'll see pictures of, moms with their babies nursing, and it looks all so like peaceful. Wonderful and peaceful and sweet until you have like this shark coming at you and it's like, it's going to like eat you. I'm like, oh dear. And they're like,
how do they control like their gums and stuff like as
well, that's the thing. If you don't, I was thankful that I had my mom there.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any major support, that's really hard. And I don't blame women for actually quitting doing it because it's hard and it hurts.
But would you say fight through it because I mean...
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah. But I mean, the benefits of breastfeeding...
Well, yeah, the benefits are definitely there.
Is pretty... the data is there that supports breastfeeding. It is definitely a healthy
for sure
choice.
And after you get going, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's convenient.
So we get beyond that, right? So now, now we have this, we have this little one at home. And as a mom, like, what are your like core values associated with raising our children? I mean, and being a mom, what do you feel like is the responsibilities of you as the mom in the house?
Well, I mean, I'll just go through really quickly because I think actually we did cover this in the first podcast, but so we don't want to be redundant. Yeah, we did.
What you think a mom should be? Yeah,
like what I want my kids to learn from us.
Yeah, I'm more thinking like as a mother. I'm framing it as mom.
Okay.
What do you think a mom, a solid, a great mom should look like?
Well, I think a great mom should look like somebody who's patient because I'm very patient. Maybe sometimes.
Holy man. Okay, right. So patience.
So kind of patient to a point. And then...
no, you're patient.
Yeah, I mean, I can be patient sometimes with the kids. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. So, and...
Okay, patient mom.
I mean, you want to teach them to be kind and respectful.
Teaching a good mentor.
A good mentor.
Of kindness and...
Mm-hmm. But you don't want them to take any shit either. So it's kind of like a balance. You want them to be kind and nice and nurturing.
Kind, but take no shit.
Right, but they have to know that, there's only so much somebody can take.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right.
I covered it.
That's a wrap. That's
a wrap, folks.
Sounds like mom's pretty easy then.
I know.
On Mother's Day.
I mean, and there's like lots of other like silly things. I mean, I think like, cooking for your kids and making sure there's food in the house and all that stuff. But that's just like lower level stuff.
No, but you say that. But I mean, honestly, I think like, I don't know about if all moms, I think there's some level of pressure that you feel like, I don't know, like you're always like, well... Like the other day we were joking around about no, but just like in a general, like we were joking around, like the kids were bugging us, and we're like, wow, that's, and you were like, I'm leaving to go to Mexico and Costa Rica, and you can have all these 3 kids because they're driving me up nuts and blah blah, and
I was going to open like up a meditation studio.
Yeah, meditation retreat. And then I was like, you probably aren't. You need to take some schooling first because there's
see you later. Have
meditation
fun.
don't go hand in hand. But then 2 seconds later, you're like, I kind of feel bad for thinking that. So it's like there's like this automatic guilt complex that's like not so far from the surface.
No, it's true. I think all moms have that. It's like you feel bad if your kids get up in the morning and there's like no food for them to eat or no food to take to school, or if like last week I was a bad mom. Preston, I forgot to bring his food to school and then I forgot to pick him up.
Yeah, but oops. So as a dad, right? And this is Mother's Day, but I guess my question to you is: do you ever feel like at times you're maybe thieving a little bit of opportunity away from them in some? It's because there is a balance. You want to like, but then it's like, should you feel guilty if the kid had to bike home from school?
No,
one day?
But I think what I feel more guilty is like, and then I try and teach them, if you say something, then that's what you're going to do. So if I tell him to bike home, I mean, he biked to baseball the other day and he biked to practice and he bikes. But if I say I'm going to be somewhere at a certain time, I want him to know that he can rely on me and I'm going to be there. If I want him to walk home, I should have said, walk home.
Yeah.
And he would have walked home.
I think that's fair. I think that's a good, because I think that's true. I think it's important that kids nowadays, I think kids in general should understand that, when you say something, you need to follow through that. I think
adults need to know that too.
And adults are, listen, everyone tries to please everybody. Oh, I'll come to that party, and then they're not there, or let's meet at noon, and then they're there at 12:10 or 12:15. And it's like, they're not respecting your time, and it's not a really, unless.
It's a good thing to teach them as kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're not showing them to do the same thing, then.
Yeah, I know. Because what we were talking about today, it's like, how do we like. Oh yeah, we were talking about the phones. Like we're having.
So we're on our phones too much.
Because we're in a new, like as a mom today, we're in a new world, right? Kids are constantly on their phones, and so are we. Because we
Phil got in trouble twice yesterday for being on his phone.
Right, but we run our own businesses, so we don't have hours. However, that's no excuse. That's in my head. That's the story that I say to myself that allows me the freedom to do it. But the reality is,
it can consume you.
I can't. I don't need to be doing that, and neither do you. So we had a conversation. It was good. Let's say, what do they call? It was a collision of sorts between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a fun thing on Mother's Day, kind of like having a collision on Mother's Day. I'm sure it's like, shouldn't we be like
being nice to each other?
Be like naked or something on Mother's Day?
No. But anyway, so I think you just need to show them or teach them by showing them.
Yes, I agreed.
Yeah. So on Jacob the other day, I was having like a real conversation with him, and he kept being on his phone.
Right.
I was like, "Put your phone away. I'm talking to you."
Actually, you got to be present.
But he sees us do that.
Yep. So we need to do some adjustment there, I think, for sure.
Yeah, that's a hard one, I think, for all parents, though, is dealing with the cell phones, the Fortnite.
Because that's one of the things we have to address tonight, right? Is the Fortnite TV thing and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to address it. That's
right.
what I meant to say.
Because now I am the disciplinarian.
Well, we're just trying to... the teeter-totter was too far on one side, which again I think is something that we've learned, and that is that like as a couple, our goal is to have a unifying front with our children.
Yeah.
I think it's a great.
I just don't like disciplining them.
I know you don't, but you know what? I think that we need to, and we agreed that we needed to balance it out a little bit because it's also not healthy to have me looked at as the big bad, the big bad wolf.
But that's what you are, right?
Well,
you want to discipline them.
What's that? No, I'm not.
Listen, you're telling me you do it. You to be the disciplinarian. Go discipline them.
Well, not exactly. Why are you lying to our audience? Right we have
no. I mean, they need to be disciplined, but I think that we just have different
ways. The impact we're making on the world.
Yeah,
with 10 subscribers. Zach, we gotta make. We have,
actually,
we have
but more people
my goal
listen
is to get up to
though.
like 50 subscribers.
People listen. They should just subscribe. Even though
that's true.
Somebody will say, "Oh, I watched this. I watched it." I'm like, "Oh, well, there must be a way to tell like how many people actually watched."
Well, that's what you asked me, and one of the things I will say, like, this is not like I want to be clear that this is not a monetary. Thing or ego thing or something. Like the whole reason we're doing this podcast for those of you who are listening, and we certainly appreciate it, is that the idea is that we're trying to do our best to be a catalyst for conversation, because there are so many people in so many relationships that pretend everything is okay, and you cannot pretend everything's okay, because what happens is over time, if you continue to do that and deal with unaddressed issues, it gets so far that all of a sudden you don't even know who you're waking up next to in the morning, and then you make decisions that impact the legacy of your children and their children's children because you made some things worse than and they could have been addressed. So it's about the catalyst to have some discussions.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I think that like my friend said the other day, I said this to you on Friday, she'll know who she is. And I did think twice about it, well, 3 or 4 times. I was saying, geez, you guys talk about a lot of private stuff on that. Do your kids like that you talk about that? And I was like, oh yeah, it's so true. So I started thinking about if the kids listened, which I don't think they have, or if they minded if we talk about them.
Right.
But I guess that's the whole thing. Everybody's going through the same shit.
Right. That's the thing.
But it's like, do you keep it in your house and hide it and it's still happening? Or do you talk about it?
Or as a community,
and there's no right or wrong
talk?
answer. I mean, everything works different for different people. But I did think long and hard about it.
You did. And I think sometimes you can, you kind of take outside information, and many times it becomes factual. And instead of, it should be a data point in your curve.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think that
versus.
Yeah, I mean, if people get a little something out of it, and really, I mean, at the end of the day, who even cares?
Well, I mean, well, listen, the truth is, we've already got, literally, we've had some, and that's
not hiding anything.
Right. And the part of the energy that I've gotten in some instances is, hey, thanks. I appreciate you being candid. That helped me have a conversation.
Yeah, and if it does, and if you don't like it, then don't listen.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right.
I mean, obviously 20 subscribers. I mean, hello, the numbers speak for themselves. Numbers speak. Hey, data speaks louder than the complaints.
You think you're funny. Remember yesterday we were like, oh yeah, Phil thinks he's a funny dad.
Well,
I wonder what data point for the kids would be on that. I wonder what they would think.
Well, listen, they will at some point. And you know what? I don't really give a crap if they don't think I'm funny, because I think I'm funny. And then right after I said something yesterday and it was funny. Remember?
Yeah, at the lacrosse field.
What did I say?
I forget.
Oh yeah, they said Jacob.
So he's laughing at himself.
Because it is funny, man. It was like he's playing lacrosse, right? It's like 10 a.m. game, right? And on Saturdays, Jacob literally sleeps till 12:30.
All right, and he was all like, yesterday he was all ornery on the field yesterday. So
Perry's like, wow, Jacob's on fire this morning. I'm like, wow, fuck, he's out of bed at least.
Usually he's sleeping.
Usually he's sleeping at 10 a.m. But anyway, so all right, that was funny. So Mother's Day.
You know what? Actually, I don't really like days like that.
I know. I don't know why. What's your beef?
I don't know.
I just
don't like. I don't like Mother's Day. I don't like Father's Day. I don't like birthdays. I just don't like them.
Yeah, you kind of.
I just want it to be like a regular day.
Christmas.
I like regular days. I think they're good. Like tomorrow. Yesterday was good.
Do you get this? You got this on camera? Like, yeah. I mean, yesterday was good. Tomorrow will be good.
Yesterday was a great day.
Today's Mother's Day. I don't like. I just don't like it.
I just don't like them.
Too many M's in the word.
It just seems like it's all like fakeness. I mean, not necessarily fakeness, but I mean, you should appreciate people every day just for being. Yeah, just being nice. So yesterday was a great day. It's like I got to watch my kids play lacrosse, baseball.
Yeah.
And then we had a relaxing day, went out for a dinner with our friends.
But you know what you need to learn to do once in a while is just, it's hard for us to do, but allow appreciation from other people to enter. Like, stop having this like big old protective fence up. It's like, man, I don't like it. Just like just take a second and just like breathe in the appreciation that people have for you.
Yeah, the kids were appreciating when I said go pick up the twigs in the yard, and they were like, "Oh God."
Well, that's because you're not. I was supposed to do that, but then again, you can't. You got to take the reins. It's like I'm not. You shouldn't be asking anyone. I'll manage this whole But anyway, that's a side topic. But.
Yeah.
But yeah, allow yourself to like soak in, take the appreciation in once in a while,
I'll do that the rest of the day.
It's hard to do, but breathe it in a bit.
All right.
Yeah. So, and speaking of like mom, so you talked to your mom yet?
Yeah.
Everybody's, she's doing good?
She's doing good.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What's up, Ruth?
Oh, she thought she might listen to our podcast.
Oh yeah? She hasn't listened yet?
Well, she did listen to the first one, I think. I said, well, I mean, you can listen if you want, but maybe she shouldn't.
Huh. Yeah. No, it's kind of, it's one of those things. It's kind of an interesting day today.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's people like you who have Mother's Day, who is the first year without your mom.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of been, I'm a little ornery today. Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people, that's happening.
Yeah, because so there you go, Steph. I mean, like, soak in the appreciation because
you have a mother to call.
Because you have a mother to call. I don't have one this year for the first time. Yeah.
Actually, I saw the picture your sister put on of your mom. It was cute.
Which one was
She was in her bathing suit.
Oh yeah,
she loved being in her bathing suit at the ocean.
On the beach, man. Holy crap, she'd be hopping.
She would always look like she was black.
That's true.
I'm not racist. Just. She was black.
It's a color, huh? Yeah, it's a color. Good clarification, though. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it's like usually you're calling someone this morning, and I'm not calling anybody. But yeah, it's strange. It's a little strange.
It's true. Lots of firsts.
Yeah, lots of firsts. So, but yeah, outside that. Uncomfortable discussion. Hopefully we can gloss over that and get to the
It's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be
kidding.
real and
kidding.
uncomfortable.
No, you're right.
Right?
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, it's real. It's yeah, but it's shitty. I mean, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, you see, like, you know, I'm wondering, like, if my brother and sister, like, what's going on with Lance and Melissa and their environment, and
I wonder.
you know, are they like, are they having feelings, or like, do they try and kind of
gloss
over it, pretend it's non-existent, or actually soak in some of the pain for a little bit? And you know, there'll be a time today when I'll reflect a little bit, because like I haven't done any meditation today, so I'm kind of behind the 8 ball. Usually I have a little bit of a 10-minute session in the mornings, and I didn't do that this morning. Man, I wonder if I kind of did it. I wonder if I didn't do it for a reason. I wonder if I like kind of.
What time did you get up at?
Because like, what's that?
What time did you get out of bed?
Today, not like 7 maybe, or something like that. 7, yeah. But so I did some work this morning. A little bit of, I did a stack on you last night. And did some work on that scenario, and then
people probably don't know what a stack is.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think maybe I'll go.
Want me to tell them what it is?
No, I'll go through that. Actually, I think actually might be a good topic for Zach, because I think it'd be a good tool for Zach to use as he's, you know, working through things. If I had known the power of a stack before
you were 43,
at Zach's age, I think I would have learned a lot of lessons about what to and not to do, and really things that you know, in my own life that would have helped me a lot. But that's a good question. That's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question for you. What did you learn from
for
your
me,
mom?
I think from my mom, I learned she was always around.
Yeah.
My mom spent a lot of time with us. She worked part-time, but she worked part-time in the evenings.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to be home with us in the day. And so she only worked really 2 evenings a week, and sometimes it was one on the weekend. But usually when we came over from school, she was around. And my mom's pretty stoic, actually.
What are your characteristics that you felt like?
Well, one thing about my mom that I love, she loves a clean house. That's really great. But,
yeah. Okay. You've inherited that.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's really nice.
Yep.
But no, my mom, I think she's so she's like probably one of the nicest ladies ever. She's so nice.
She's so open.
Yeah, she's open. She's nice. Which actually I didn't really get her openness, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah, she's just a really like kind lady. She'd do anything for anybody.
Thoughtful.
Very thoughtful.
Very kind.
Oh yes, geez, you're hitting my mom nail right on the head. She's so thoughtful.
She is. Yeah.
That's probably your best trait, that she's so thoughtful.
Yeah, like she texted me today. Like no other family member, like my father, nothing. Like.
Yeah, but she asked about that a few days ago.
Texts me, hey, thinking about you today, Phil.
But she'd been thinking about that for like a week, probably 5 days ago. She said, "Oh, this Sunday's gonna be rough for Phil," and I was like, "Why?"
Yeah, you didn't.
I was like,
know.
"What's Sunday?" And she goes, "Well, Mother's Day." I was like, "Oh, right, yeah."
So I guess she'd already inherit that trait, because you didn't even know like why it would be upsetting for you.
Well, no, actually, I forgot it was Mother's Day.
Huh?
I forgot it was Mother's Day.
Right.
I would have known.
No, I'm sure you would have figured it out at some point. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so she is super thoughtful.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, but I think she was just always around. She was always there.
Yeah.
For us, which I like too. That's why I like being around our kids.
No, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing to pass along to our children, and you've done a good job of that. But yeah. What
about your mom?
Yeah, my mom, I think, like my mom was a nurse, right? And so she, you know, growing up, she's very charismatic. So like when my mom is like on stage, she's she is the life of the party. Like
telling stories.
Telling wonderful stories, funny stories. She has a great sense of humor. But one of the things I think I took from her.
She told great stories at our wedding.
She did.
About your scrotum ripping open when you were little.
Why do we have to do that right now? I mean, we could mention that later. It was hilarious though, but no, I think part of it though, she spent like so much time dealing with the unwanted and undesirables like of the world, like in the death and dying world. Mm-hmm. Like she, you know, basically she could speak to someone who's dying or in poverty. She would treat them the same way. She would treat the death and dying that were from wealth, and they had these bonds with her. Like all these people had these bonds with her.
It's true.
So when she was dying of cancer, remember when it was just ironic that she at that point needed caring for.
Right. She was usually the caregiver.
Right.
And so it was just ironic how it completely flip-flopped.
Yeah. So in my world, I want to, that's why I have this, I do have a strong desire to give back, and I feel compassion for other people. I have empathy, I guess is what I'm saying. I feel empathetic. I feel sad for others.
Yeah.
I feel I get upset if someone's upset. I feel it. And I think that's something that my mom passed along.
Yeah. She was good with people.
Yeah. So that in her, the reality is certainly I wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't the traits associated with being able to do this, the talk on this mic. It didn't come from Terry. Right. I mean,
definitely not.
Seriously, to be able to do this, and some of the when I was doing in sales and in sales or presenting in front of people. I mean, that was my worst nightmare. To present in front of people, and what my mom gave me was I feel I naturally had the ability to, but it was my mindset preventing me from getting up there and doing it. But then I think I talked to Zach one time that the repetitions, I knew that it was a weakness, but so I had the natural gift of talking.
Mm-hmm, you do.
I do.
You do.
I feel like that's a gift, and and that my mom gave me that gift, and so, but I was afraid to use it for so many years.
I think sometimes you still are.
Fear. Huh?
I think sometimes you still are.
Yeah, there are times when I still am, for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you're getting better at it.
Yeah, trying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are some wonderful gifts that I think I appreciate, and So I guess in many respects, this podcast is a
tribute to our moms.
Is a tribute to our mothers, yeah.
And all the moms out there.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a nice dinner tonight.
Minus our daughter.
For those of you who are out there, this won't even air for probably 3 weeks from now. But let's just hope that you took your mothers, your wives, the mothers that you know, and treat them a little special today.
Yeah, because I think most moms do actually like Mother's Day.
But don't let them walk all over you. I mean, I'm just saying. Don't let the mothers out there.
Listen, the moms have one day.
I'm just kidding.
Just let them be.
Let them be. Just be a yes man for one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. I'll
do whatever your
deal.
mom wants.
It's a bargain.
And your wife.
All right. That's a deal.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen. Hey, thank you.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Are we done?
That's 30 minutes.
Oh my
goodness. Thank you so much.
This just flies by. I feel like I haven't said a word.
I know. Well, we've covered a lot.
That's
we've
true.
Covered.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll think of something different to talk about.
What's that?
What?
I said we've talked about everything from having a new baby in your arms and how it feels as a new mother to what our mothers pass along to us.
Right. Good point.
So.
All right. So next time we'll think about something different.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Phil. Bye.